What if I told you guys, before all the dunks, before all the news headlines, before all the endorsements, and even before all the Jordan comparisons, there was a kid with a tragic story, a kid who overcame adversity in the streets of Atlanta. This is the story of Ant-Man, aka Anthony Edwards.
Edwards. Oh, Edwards! A signature slam! Timeout. 2:12 left. 4-point game.
Anthony Edwards was born on August 5th, 2001 in Atlanta, Georgia. He was the youngest of 6 children and growing up in an energetic home with his mom Yvette and his grandmother Shirley. They was his heartbeat in this world. They raised Anthony Edwards with love, strength, and faith. But life wasn't that easy in Southwest Atlanta. There was violence and gangs, stuff you wouldn't want your kid to be around. But sadly, Ant-Man's grandmother and mother was struggling with cancer, and they sadly passed away. Anthony's oldest sister, who was 21 at the time of their mother and grandmother's passing, was told this by the doctor. I think it's best you and your sister take legal guardianship of your brother, just in case something happened to your mom. So this forced Anthony Edwards' older sister, at 21 years of age, to take custody of Ant-Man. This was a very sad time in Anthony Edwards' life. He was only at the age of 14 at this point, and he was going through grown man trauma. Anthony Edwards wasn't even really into basketball. His first love was football, and he just wasn't good at it. He was great at football, being nationally ranked at a very young age. People were even saying he could probably make the NFL. At just 11 years old, they had bro out there playing quarterback, cornerback, and DB. He was an athlete, a specimen, at just 11 years old. But then one day, Anthony Edwards saw his brother playing basketball. And ever since that day, something changed. Something clicked for Anthony Edwards. Something enlightened in his heart that football couldn't give him, that basketball did. And little did he know, his life wouldn't remain the same. Ant-Man transferred to Holy Spirit Prep in Atlanta, Georgia. And that's where things got real. He wasn't just playing well, he was destroying the high school competition. Hitting step back threes, dunking on people, he had it all. He was a showman. People came to the games just to watch him dunk. Coaches called him once in a generation type of athlete. By the end of his high school run, he was a 5-star recruit, and he was ranked top 3 in the entire nation. And then, Anthony Edwards had a college decision to make. What was he gonna do? Most stars would have gone to Kentucky or Duke. But nah, Anthony Edwards, he wanted to stay home. So he chose the University of Georgia. He wanted to put on for his city, for his state. And when he arrived in college, Ant-Man ain't wasting no time. Dropping 33 points in just his second game, finishing the season averaging 19 points a game. He was named the SEC Freshman of the Year. And scouts was already saying that this kid was going number 1 in the draft. And on November 18th of 2020, the Minnesota Timberwolves was on the clock, and they were going to either pick LaMelo Ball, who was looked at as the most talented in the draft, or Anthony Edwards. And luckily for the Minnesota Timberwolves, for the team who hasn't been relevant in years,
with the first pick in the 2020 NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Anthony Edwards from the University of Georgia.
So Anthony Edwards with his mother and grandmother with him there in spirit. He knows which hat he can take out of that big box now, and it is the one that belongs to the Minnesota.
To the start of Anthony Edwards' rookie season, he had a slow start, but then he flipped the switch, ending his rookie year averaging 19.3 points per game, and he was showing people why he could be the front runner for Rookie of the Year. But sadly, Anthony Edwards did not win Rookie of the Year. They ended up giving it to LaMelo Ball in 2020. They also said LaMelo Ball was the most talented in this draft class. In my opinion, I think this lit a fire in Anthony Edwards. I think he was tired of being second. And in this next season, he showed that he was tired. And in his sophomore season in the NBA, he raised his scoring average up to 21.3 points per game and averaging 4.8 rebounds and 3.8 assists. And he also played 72 games, showing that he had durability. He was putting the league on notice and showing them why he was the best in that 2020 draft class. And by his third season, the Ant-Man was unleashed. He was showing people he was the face. He dropped a career high of 51 points. He became the youngest player to ever reach 1,000 three-pointers made. He also made a deep playoff run to the Western Conference Finals. He knocked out Nikola Jokic in the Denver Nuggets. And he also gave the Suns with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant an ass whooping to remember. Anthony Edwards is putting the league on notice that he was here to stay. By 2025, Anthony Edwards was more than just a star. He was a 3-time All-Star, All-NBA second team, and he won an Olympic gold medal with LeBron James and Steph Curry, upping his scoring average up to 26 points per game, getting 5 rebounds and 4 assists, and shooting nearly almost 40% from deep. Doing it while smiling and trash talking your favorite player, just being himself. And off the court, oh yeah, he's getting that bag too. He launched a signature shoe called the AE1s, signed with Adidas. Anthony Edwards wasn't supposed to make it. From growing up in the streets of Atlanta to losing his mom and his grandmother, the odds were stacked against him. He could have stopped, he could have quit, he could have gave up. But nah. This is a story of a man who pushed through adversity, and when times got hard, he kept going, no matter what. He followed his dreams, and he made his mom and his grandmother proud. To this day, Anthony Edwards walks around with a chip on his shoulder. He wears the number 5 due to his mom and his grandmother dying on the 5th day of the month. This is not a sad story, because Anthony Edwards is chasing greatness. And he showed us and the people watching this video right now that we can beat adversity. And tough times doesn't define us, and where we come from doesn't define us. But what we can make out of it and what we can do about it will define us. The crazy part about it, Anthony Edwards is only 23 years old. He's looking scary, bouncing your favorite players out the playoffs. He already made the Western Conference Finals once. Ant-Man's here to stay, and this was his story. Anthony Edwards didn't just survive his story, he rewrote it. And something tells me he's just getting started. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and comment who you want to see next. I love y'all boys. Peace.